Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to the Big Debate. It's your boy T Agor, and we continue our ongoing coverage of the African Cup of Nations taking place in Cameroon. Today, the second day two of the knockout stages took place in Yaoundé, and we had the first game which was played between Guinea and Gambia. Guinea was thought to be the favorite because they have more experience in this competition, but unfortunately, they lost. So, congratulations to Gambia. And the second game took place in Yaoundé, in the host nation capital, between Cameroon and Comoros. So, with me to discuss these games today, as well as the post-match analysis, is Tru3Lion. Good evening, Tru3Lion, and welcome to the Big Debate once more.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. T. Pleasure for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure always having you, and I have to give this to you. You know, each time I'm here to talk football, and especially Cameroon, I have to put on my Cameroon shirt. So, and Cameroon won again today, so I'm very, very elated. It was a difficult game, but I'm pleased that they won. So today we had two games. Cameroon played with Comoros in Yaoundé in the Olembe Stadium. And the other game that took place was the game between Guinea and Gambia. Yesterday, we had a preview of these games. Today, this game take place. So we'll talk more about the Cameroon game. So the way Cameroon started the game was that the 11 that played against that started the game with Ethiopia, which is the second game, the game that they won by 4-1, is the 11 that started again today. So tell me what you think the coach thought the manager was thinking, how he wanted to play, and whether he achieved that eventually in the game.
No, I think he just wanted to start with a team that won convincingly against Ethiopia, but unfortunately for him, I think Choupo-Moting was not having a good game, and then the Comoros team, although they went down by a man, they were more energetic and had better chemistry than the Cameroonian team.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's worth mentioning to hear that, and I believe for everyone watching out that the Comoros team that played today, he had 7 players who were tested positive with coronavirus, as well as the manager. He had a goalkeeper injured and 2 other goalkeepers who tested positive for COVID, and so unfortunately they couldn't play. So they had an outfield player playing as a goalkeeper. So it was quite interesting. Everyone, myself included, and I believe everyone out there thought like Cameroon was just going to blow off Comoros. But in competitive football, and especially for a team that has qualified for the knockout games, making such assumptions is usually a big mistake.
Yes, actually, and the better team actually lost today. I mean, the better field on the field, the better team on the pitch actually lost today, and it just shows that they have better chemistry. Despite that, they were not having 6 of their starters. They were not having a regular goalkeeper playing for them. They had better movement. They came out to prove themselves that beating Ghana was not a fluke, and Cameroon did not show up. So I
Okay.
mean that's the
So
explanation. They
before
didn't.
I ask you my next question, how they played, and eventually I'm probably going to go back to you. Something you told me on the first day that a better team is one that scores goals and the one that win games. So I'm going to argue with you that the better team is the one that won today because it's the team that scored goals.
No, I mean football. The way I view football, right? I view
Yes.
football for many reasons. Of course, winning is the ultimate, but how do you win? How do you entertain? Because football is not only about winning. Football, I look at the tactical point of view, what the players are trying to articulate, depending on what formation, because the formation, the lineup is what they actually give you, right? But there's a
Yes.
certain way that the players move on the field. If you saw the Comoros players, they were moving in triangles, they were moving in rectangles, they were always outnumbering Cameroonian players no matter what position they were on the field. So they were better organized tactically and they knew what they were going to do. What Cameroon was not doing is that Cameroon thought the game would come to them easily since they were playing a team that was depleted.
Mhm. So
So
some people think that probably the way Comoros probably took Cameroon unawares, and also maybe the tactics of the tactics that Cameroon wanted to play were didn't work, because a few minutes into the game, Comoros had a red card, and this practically changed our game plan.
No, I don't want to speculate in such a way because we have had this is the fourth game Cameroon plays, right? And
Yes.
apart from let's give them credit at least for the Ethiopian game. Apart from the Ethiopian game, Cameroon has not been convincing, and we've been talking about this the whole time. Defensively, they have not been convincing. In the midfield, they have not been convincing. I have singled out, let's say, if I have to single out players, I'll single out about 4 players that have been consistent. I'll
Okay.
call five. I'll call Abubakar,
Abubakar, of course.
Loko Ekambi,
Hmm.
and Ngabele.
Yes.
For me, that's it. Even Tolo has disappeared.
Yeah,
His
he had an outstanding first game, but
his wing is open, always open. Although even today he was not doing those long runs, but his wing is open. So you cannot come in such a competition because you're the host nation and really, and I'll blame the coach because it's for me it seems as if the coach doesn't know what he's doing.
so what do you think was the problem with the Cameroon team today? You are not impressed. I believe many fans out there are not impressed with the way Cameroon played. They are of course very, very happy with the fact that Cameroon won. I'm very, very happy. I've seen some fans out there who are a little bit concerned with the way their team is playing, even though they are celebrating their victory. So what do you think was the problem with Cameroon today, and how do you think they can improve their game?
If you see the way, or if you watch the game again and you see the way Cameroon was playing, most of his attacking players were actually playing one on one with the defensive line of Comoros, which
Yes.
means that when you play one on one with the defensive line of Comoros, it means you have now less players in the midfield. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so those players that you have in the midfield, let's say Hongla and Anguissa, they have to
Yes.
be players that are actually good on the ball.
Yeah.
That's not the case with Cameroon. Okay, that's not where the grace to come. And the reason I say that, if you watch Manchester City play, you see when their 4 players line up one on one with the defensive, what happens? They have Bernardo Silva, they have players that can come in the midfield and play on the ball and thread those passes so that the
Yeah.
ball gets. But
Everyone out there will tell you that Anguissa is a good ball player. So what's wrong? What's happening with him?
no, let's not take. I've always tried to articulate this to you guys, right? Don't take a player's performance at club level and bring it to the national team.
No, I'm asking that because you mentioned Manchester City and it's a club.
No, I'm just giving you, I'm trying to draw parallels. If you
Okay,
play a
all right,
certain type of
okay,
football,
great,
you should
okay.
be able to keep the ball and make passes. You call it Anguissa. Anguissa has played 3, 4 games and he's zero. But guess what? We don't have someone on the bench that is actually better than him. That's why the national we stopped. You see what I'm saying?
And
So
of course, you know the national team, you can't buy players in the national team, right? So
no, it's not
you have to,
about buying players.
yeah,
It's like, in Pigeon, when they say they know the fit far for market day, we don't plan. If you don't plan, you will fail. And that's what's happening. You don't have a functional league. Don't you think that there are players that can, if you put them in the right position, they will be able
no,
to.
we can talk about a league some or other time. Let's just focus a little bit on this game.
Yes.
Anguissa is an outstanding player. Anguissa is an outstanding player. We have seen him play in the same national team excellently. He is not playing well. What is happening? What do you think is happening with him?
No, when you say he's outstanding, I deny. He's a good player. He's not outstanding.
I mean, by
Outstanding.
Cameroon standards, in a midfield, he's showing up. He has shown up. Okay, he's a good player. I agree
He's
with
not.
you.
He's played
Okay,
4 games. He has
okay,
not shown
okay,
up.
okay. He's a good player.
He's still in Spain. I mean, no, he plays in Italy. He's still in Italy. He's still with Napoli.
Yes, and
That's the way
Napoli
I
is
put
not a
it.
small team.
Yeah, he's still in Napoli. And also, I've talked to you about Onana. The thing with Onana is that Onana has not played football for the past maybe 1 year. So I can give him such excuses. I mean, I can give him I can cut him some slack.
Yes, yes.
But
I'm not going to talk about Onana today. So let's just talk about the performance of the outfield player and what Comoros did to neutralize Cameroon. Everyone who watched the game know that, is aware, even whether they agree or they don't, know that. I mean, Comoros gave Cameroon a run for their money.
No, but when you say Comoros gave Cameroon a run for the money, it's as if Cameroon came and played something before Comoros gave them a run for the money. Cameroon did not show up. No, let's call it as it is. Cameroon did not show up. So don't try to say Cameroon came and played and Comoros stopped them. No, Comoros came and played and Cameroon was still in their dressing room. That's what happened. I'm sorry. They
Okay,
didn't
so
play.
they were like the millipede who were still tying their boots while Comoros were playing.
Yes, that's the analogy.
in
You
true
know,
in True Lions language.
exactly. The millipede is a very good player, but what its deficiencies actually is that it has 1,000 feet and it's still tying the boots. You know, in order
While the
to
game is going on.
exactly by the time it finished tying the boots, the game is finished. So that's what happened to Cameroon today.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this guy. At least you've mentioned that Cameroon needs to show up. They need to leave the dressing room and come to the field. But over the past 4 games, there have been some players who have shown up, and one in particular is this guy. What would Cameroon do without this guy?
Cameroon will not even qualify to the knockout stages without Abubakar because he's shown some brilliance. He's shown that he's unstoppable, and he's actually pulling the team along with him. So great captain, great moment. He's very talented at 30 years old. He's not finished, and he's proving that. So that's a great. I mean, he's doing wonders for Cameroon.
So eventually, Cameroon won the game. They will be playing the next game in, I believe, next weekend. So, what do you think Cameroon needs to do to improve their game? Because they're going to play, I think it's going to be Gambia. It's a very organized Gambian side.
Yeah, this is what Cameroon needs to do, right? Either push Anguissa, make Anguissa box to box, then you find someone that can play, that can hold. Even, I mean, try something different. The guy, what's his name? Onana. I'm not sure if it's about fitness. Try
Yeah,
something different.
my understanding is that it's about fitness. He was injured. He just came back. That's why he only comes in as a late subs.
But guess what? Even 1 foot, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Onana better than Hongla. Hongla was the one that gave on that free kick for that goal, and it was not called for. I mean, it was not danger. I mean, some players, they are scared. They don't have confidence, and if the coach cannot get them out of that psychological, mindset, then it's gonna be difficult even in the next game because
Do you think it's
all they need to
confidence,
do.
or they were just never? They were playing in front of 50,000 Cameroonians on home soil.
But Dr. T,
Everyone was watching.
but Dr. T, if you go in an exam ill prepared, what will happen? You'll be nervous.
Well,
You'll be,
two
I
things
mean,
can happen. You can fail, but
because
Cameroon
you
won today.
because you didn't prepare and you have not shown. Call me one game where you saw Hongla play a good game. Try someone else. Maybe, I mean, try someone else in that position because Anguissa is not ready to defend and do the things that he does. So play him as he plays in Napoli. Just play him box to box, and maybe he will get some service, get some balls over
Create some balls. Okay.
yes, you get some balls over to Chupo Moting, and Chupo Moting can feed Abubakar. Because one thing is clear: if you get the ball to Abubakar in good position, he will score. If you
And,
get the ball to
in True Lions language, if you feed the beast will score.
exactly feed the beast, and we have two beasts on that field. You got
Toko Ekambi,
Toko Ekambi, and you have Abubakar. If you
Abubakar.
can feed them, they will score. That's a given. So let the coach look for a way to feed those guys. I think maybe this guy can play, but sometimes I am just too mad at his selfish football. I'm talking about Basungok.
Yeah.
This is a player for me that has not progressed. He has regressed with time. He has regressed greatly with time because there was a ball today where
Yes.
he just needed to give a simple pass.
Yeah, to the right. Yeah, there was, I believe Gamero was on the right. Yes.
Exactly. And you are playing with time. You know that you have to conserve the ball. You are that experienced. You have been with the national team for that long. But you want to dribble the whole field when the player is open? Is that not stupidity? So he's not wise. But I think maybe next game he should start.
Okay, so eventually Cameroon won the game. They qualified. So congratulations to the Indomitable Lions. I'm proudly wearing this shirt because you guys won, and I will still wear the shirt even if you guys don't win anyway. So just to give us a Tru3Lion a slack. But to be sincere and as a fan, I honestly wasn't very impressed with the performance. I was very pleased with the result, and I'm celebrating the result. So, Tru3Lion, let's talk a little bit about the other game. So, the game between Guinea and Gambia. This is the first time Gambia, but also Comoros are playing this competition. Yesterday, you and I came here, and all of us gave it to Guinea because of their experience, but it came back to our face.
Yeah, Gambia came out, played impressive football, and I think they actually deserve. And also to make that, I was not sure why this guy's, what's his name, Keita,
Keita, yeah,
yeah,
Keita was suspended. He had 2 yellow cards, so I think it was a big miss for Guinea. But even without that, Gambia was very very organized.
yeah, Musa Barrow has been
Baru, yeah,
Musa Barrow has been a revelation in this Nations Cup, and you can see his hunger. You can see the way he played. You can see the goal he scored. I mean, 2 touches of the ball. I mean, that was a good pass, because what happens is that when you open up that much in the midfield, because it was open, and
yes,
then the guy who gave the assist actually found the right pass,
yeah.
and Barrow actually did everything by
Yeah,
himself.
being an outstanding player that he is, he actually created a space. But I think I will give it to the midfielder who opened up because it was like Barrow was practically by himself right in front of the defender.
No, Barrow was not really practical by himself, because he had to make a run, and escape from his marker, and then he had to dribble past the defender before he scored a low one, at the bottom left of the goal. So it was a great run. It was a great
Yeah,
run
it was
coming
a great
from
one.
him.
So, like there's something you mentioned to me yesterday that always stick with your guts. You remember on the first show we are chatting offline, and I told you like my surprise package is going to be is Gambia, and I told
Oh
you that
yes,
it yes, it's because
yes.
Gambia they played so many games. They play before they even qualify for the knockout stages for the group stages of the qualification. They played knockout, they qualified, and then in the group stages, they still played some outstanding football to qualify. But then I changed my mind and follow. I became a follower. I'm never going to follow you anymore, Tru3Lion. I'll stick to my own gods.
Yeah, you should always
So
you
yeah,
should always
so
stick your guts.
yeah, so Cameroon will be playing Gambia on Saturday, I think. What do you think? Give me a prognostication of the results and how do you think Cameroon can beat its Gambia side? I mean, I
And
don't care what you think. All I know is that Cameroon is going to win this game.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they will play in Douala, if I'm not mistaken. However, Cameroon is a team when you least expect from them, they will come ahead and surprise you. Football is a very tricky game. If you make mistakes,
You get punished.
it
Yeah.
falls maybe on Abubakar. Abubakar is red hot. Abubakar can punish you. So this is gonna be a difficult one, but I still expect. I know Cameroon can win this game, so it's nothing I can put past that Cameroon
Yeah. It
team.
seems as if that's the thing with Cameroon. They might not play very well. You might not see them doing anything, but then don't let the ball fall on this guy. If the ball
Yeah,
falls on this guy or Toko Ekambi, it's
yeah.
going to be a big cheer in the
I
crowd.
mean, even a bad clock is right twice a day, right?
Okay. Oh yeah, I agree. It's always interesting having you here. So let's talk a little bit before we end the show. And if you are joining us now, if you are watching the big debate we've discussed about the Cameroon game which took place today between with Comoros. Cameroon eventually won. The performance there is a lot of controversy and discussions there on the performance. Some of us think are happy that Cameroon won, but are not very impressed with the performance. I believe that's what most people think out there, even though most people don't want us to talk about it. They just want us to celebrate. But we think we have to say it as we saw it, and that's what Tru3Lion did. But again, this guy is red hot. He has 6 goals now. I think he's one of the first players, if I'm not mistaken, who have scored more than 5 goals in the African Cup of Nations. And he still has many games coming. So let's talk about the other game. The game's taking place tomorrow is between Senegal and Cape Verde, Darwin Bafoussam, and Morocco and Malawi in Yaoundé, in the other stadium in Yaoundé, they have Amadou Ahijo Stadium. So tell me what you think, Tru3Lion.
I think Morocco is a good team. One of my teams that I thought will make it through. One of my favorites. So I would stick with my guts with Morocco for that one. And Senegal is another team that I call favorites. They have not been convincing. Cape Verde can play some very good and sleeky football. So this one is gonna be a difficult one. However, I still have to stick with Senegal because before the tournament, I have them as favorites.
Okay, great. So it's I'm very pleased with you. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Morocco, but I'm not going to go with you with Senegal. I'm going to go with Cape Verde. You know I'm going to go with Cape Verde. Remember what I told you yesterday? Any team which played in the group with Cameroon, I'm going to take them. So Burkina Faso was in the group with Cameroon. I selected them. So Cape Verde was in the group with Cameroon. I'm going to go with Cape Verde. I don't care about the manners. They can play as good as, but Cape Verde is going to give them a run for their money. So Tru3Lion, it was good having you and discussing football with you. So tomorrow we'll be back here to discuss about the games which took place, which will be taking place tomorrow, and the upcoming games on Wednesday. So thank you very much for joining us, Tru3Lion. And if you watch the show, we very much appreciate your fanaticism, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one,
Yes.
bro.
Okay, good night, bro, and let's chat tomorrow. Good evening to everyone watching. Goodbye.